Ah, ha, 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 ha. I'm coming with like a bit of an antagonist, contrarian opinion in this video. It's funny, I just came up with this video idea after recording another video, and it kind of, you know, piggybacks off the back of the previous video I just recorded. And, before we get into the full context and content of it, I'm drinking a protein shake right now. Feel really good drinking this. Chocolate, drinking chocolate, so that puts a smile on my face. And yeah, I don't know. That's nice. Nice boost of energy. But it's lying to me. Fat free, no added sugar. I don't know if y'all see that, if it's focused in. Like, that's got to be some cap. No added sugar. I can taste all the glucose in it. What are you talking about? Anyway, so yeah, as I said, this video is gonna be a bit controversial, right? But it is my genuine true opinion, so hear me out. Celebrities deserve more discounts than normies. And the reason I think this, and the reason this happens, and why I agree with it also happening as well, and why it shouldn't change, is because think about it. If you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're a celebrity. You are one of the most famous people walking the planet Earth, and you decide you want to go to, I don't know, buy some high-end designer clothing from a fashion store like Balenciaga or something, right? You walk into Balenciaga, you're very recognizable, so all the staff and waiters, you're extremely famous, so all the staff and waiters, regardless of their age, whether they're older or younger, are extremely likely to just recognize you from the face alone and know at least your first name. So they're calling you by your government. They are interacting with you, smiling with you more as well. They're also complimenting you on your prowess of your talent and abilities to, amass such a, grandiose legacy for yourself. And yeah, they're glazing in real time, and you're Ronaldo, you're sitting there thinking, you're like, okay, this is cool, I appreciate the treatment here. I'm looking for some shoes, maybe some, I don't know, maybe just the latest Balenciaga trainer will do, right? Just something comfy and that looks nice, and will last me a while. So you're just looking around, you pick up the trainers, you're on the way to the till and make the payment. And, you're just thinking like, okay, I'm a celebrity. I'm going to try and get a discount, Like, at the end of the day, I'm doing this store a favor by even being here. Off of the back of me being here, there are now people running into the store behind me, getting word that I'm here because there's discussion with the waiters and now other people are just seeing me. I'm being more exposed, because perhaps it's just not often that they get someone so famous walk into the store, right? But, you know, um, and so you got people coming up behind you, around you, in front of you, and, you're just thinking in the back of your head, I just want these shoes. And then at some point, you're just like, you know what? Talking to the till operator, and you're just like, can I get a discount? And the till operator is like, they don't even question it. They're like, yeah, sure. And they just apply the max amount of discount that they can apply, because that's what the status it gives you. It just gives you this ability to be like, I'm clearly someone important, and if I want something, the demand of me wanting something means more than someone who isn't as important as me. So I'm more likely to get it. And, people have to kind of accommodate you, instead of you having to accommodate for others, because you're the star, and that's just the way it works. So you know, I think a lot of normies, they want discounts for things, are always looking for discounts for, it doesn't matter whether it's a small or a large discount. And it's understandable because I guess, life for a normie, people like, who are not who are not striving. And I say a normie in the sense that you're a normie if you're not striving to become anything like great, if you're not striving to become like as big as you possibly can, as rich as you possibly can, just as big and as fit and healthy as you possibly can, all areas of life. If you're not striving for one thing in particular, or at least a few things, if you're striving in your job, then no, I wouldn't consider you a normie. But if you're just working a job and coasting by, you're not striving towards promotion or a pay rise, you know, higher placement in a company, then it's just like, you know, that's what I would consider a normie, just a casual. And so casuals and normies, they're always looking for discounts on everything because they ain't striving for anything. But when you like striving, you don't really, you know, it's something you don't really care about, but it's something that you can still use. And even though you don't care about it as much, because it's like you can still more than comfortably afford the thing that you want. But when it just pops up in your mind to be like, you know what, I want a discount just because I can, you're more likely to get one. Whereas it's like, if you're like, because you're a celebrity and you got that leverage, you got the name, you got the name for the gain. So just use the name and, you're going to see all those gains off of that name alone, But when you ain't got the name for the gain, it's like there's not much to gain when you don't have a name out here. And obviously it's people would say it's a sad truth, but it's really not. It's just the way life works, and you got to adapt to it and be like, all right, how can I get a name? Okay, let me produce. Let me just, let me be as productive and as creative as I can possibly be and maximize my efforts and talents. And it should take me as far as possible, right? Let me look at the landscape to see how far it can take me. Is if I went that far, is it worth it for the amount of time and effort I'm going to put in to go that far in it? Yes, it is. Could I make millions? Yes. Okay, yeah, then it's worth it. If not, maybe, okay, I don't know, maybe it might not be worth it, But that's going to be your own personal thing of how much money you want to make. So you got to look into that. But yeah, for me, it's like I like working in fields that are uncapped earning potential. I love that. That's the main motivator for me to make money. If I'm going to make money in something that has an uncapped earning potential, because if I'm going to make money just to pay the bills, and barely get by, it's like, what am I making the money for? It's like, if I'm going to make money, I want the money to be able to, do things and like other things I want to do with the money, right? It makes sense. So, and I think celebrities, yeah, so they've worked extremely hard, harder than most people. Of course, that's how you have the status. And so when you have the status, you can use that as leverage to be like, I want a discount here, and you're gonna get the discount, And in that example I gave, it's like the till operators, they're like, yeah, of course. They don't even think twice about it, because it's like, imagine you reject a celebrity for the discount. They could easily leave a bad review and say, look, I don't like the way I was treated here. And their word means a lot, and you're going to lose a lot of clientele from that, especially other celebrities, perhaps not general populace, but other celebrities who are going to bring more in over time, and this is why celebrities get discounts, because if they request for a discount or get offered a discount, they're more likely to come back, one, and two, they also have the budget to be able to continuously come back and make purchases over a longer period of time, and more expensive purchases at that than the average individual. And that's why celebrities are just more valued as a customer than an average person will ever be, but of course, things are sold in different price ranges to attract all types of customers, right? Because you still want, and as a business, a lot of the times you may need the average individual and to help you out, in terms of like being able to at least break even, when it comes to the amount you're investing in the company to the amount you're making back, right? The general populace are probably going to help you break even, but where the large profits come from, where the overwhelming source of profit comes from, perhaps is going to be coming from, those who are more in a more elite position in life. So I just think celebrities do deserve more discounts than the normies. And this is an opinion that perhaps people are going to shake their heads at and be like, why do you think like this, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? You know, you know, you're not even on that level to be thinking that. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not on that level, but I kind of, I treat myself like I am. I think like that already. And I think that's going to be a testament to, you know, me being able to prove that perhaps one day I will end up on that level, you know, because I got this mindset where I'm just a realist and I like to see the real in everything and I don't want to sugarcoat anything. So that's just the way I am, you know. So I think, you know, if you want the biggest discounts in life, the celebrities, they get the biggest discounts. It's not the normies, you know. It's funny, man. The discounts really, they just go to the people that they don't even need it, or they don't really even care about it. But because they have more access to it, they just use it, you know, because it's still a benefit to their life. It's still like, okay, I'm spending less money, you know, anyway. And on top of spending less money, I'm earning more money, you know, on average in society. And that's a cool ass juxtaposition right there. And really also a cool life to live, you know. So it's really worth it, I think, to be a celebrity, to be famous. I couldn't tell you how I'm gonna handle fame when it comes because, you know, it's like I haven't been there yet, but I'm really I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to the change in my life compared to like and making the comparison and contrast like once I get famous and rich and I'm looking back when I was you know unknown and broke and I'm like holy shit my life is just so different now, you know? It's not even about it being better or worse. It's just more so about it being different so I have more things to experience, you know? And I think that's what gives us fulfillment as humans in life is experiences. When you live the monotonous life, the same life for too long, it's really like a burden on your mental health because it's like there's too many things out there that have accumulated over time that you want to experience and you haven't done yet. That's a shame to live that as as an existence, you know, the entire way through. And it's like that's something that I want to avoid. And in order to avoid that, I need to put in a hell of a lot of work towards things that are going to allow me more of an opportunity to, you know, get to experience that and have a plethora of different, you know, situations that I end up in life. Because I think, you know, you develop more of a story and become more interesting, right? And have such a wide perspective on things. And it's not to say we can know everything about anything at all, but you know, just to get as close to that as possible is something that really inspires me and motivates me to keep going. So, you know, definitely worth the trade-off in potential harassment, you know, annoyance of fame to be a celebrity because, you know, the lavishness and the variety of opportunity you can get yourself into is so mind-blowing that it's absolutely worth the trade-off. And people can look at this and be like, oh, you're a sellout. And it's like, okay, so you're just calling me successful, you know? So you're just complimenting me on my grandiosity and stature. Like, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a sellout.